All right, Allie, take it away.
Thanks, Carly. Hi, everyone. I'm Allie Weaver. I am the Senior Director of Community Relations for Wellcare. Uh, I'm here to talk today about, sorry, I'm just trying to share my screen. All right, I'm here to talk today about what Wellcare Community Relations does in the community and how we can partner with you to bring some of the goodness that we bring to communities all over the country right to your ALA group and your local post. So go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to talk about who we are as an organization, who we are as a community relations team, and then what type of events we do across the country. We do about 1,200 events a week, so we're not talking just state fairs here. We do all sorts of events all the time, every minute of every day. There's an event happening, so really excited to talk about that, and then how to get started with WellCare if you're interested. It's just a quick relationship overview. I don't need to tell you guys what the American Legion is, but I will tell you about WellCare. So WellCare is a 1.5 million member Medicare Advantage plan. We also have millions of members on our prescription drug plan. We're in 50 states for our PDP. We're in 32 states for our Medicare Advantage plans. So pretty widespread, pretty large plan. We've got 40 years of presence and experience across the country, and we have plans designed with veterans in mind. I like to bring that up to say this sets us apart a little bit. When we're designing our benefit packages, we have people, it's not just someone at the table who are there specifically to talk through what type of benefits do our veterans need and how can we make sure we're designing plans that work best for them. So we have those plans all over the place. Some of our partnership goals, we want to connect Medicare eligible veterans, their spouses, and the greater military community with additional benefits that work alongside their VA benefits. We want to teach Legionnaires, veterans, and their families about healthcare options and help ensure they have the coverage that they need. We want to make the American Legions Be the One campaign a common cause. So we work really hard to champion veteran mental health support. Also, we make sure that we're writing veteran mental health support into all of our plans. And then we engage with local TAL posts and local ALA groups to increase community involvement, educate at the local level, and fill needs in the community that we serve. One of the things that we're heavily focused on is making sure we're fighting against the notion that if you have VA benefits, you don't need a Medicare plan. Uh, I think somewhere along the way, that used to be maybe true. And it's not necessarily true anymore. There's lots of ways that a Medicare Advantage plan can work alongside your VA coverage. And we want to make sure that we're sending that education because we don't want anyone to go without benefits at low or no cost to them that they could desperately use and so greatly deserve. So let's talk about how we do that in our community. WellCare knows that if we want to improve the quality of life within the communities we serve, we must meet people where they are. This sentence is the reason I work for WellCare. It's the reason that my team works for WellCare. Their continued investments into the actual communities that we serve through not just our community relations team, which we'll talk about in a minute, but also through various grants and other support systems is so important to us. We're so much more than a Medicare plan. We're in the communities that we are involved in every single day, doing what we can to better the community. One of the ways WellCare does that is through our community relations team. So it's the team I'm very, very blessed to lead. This team is a 50-person plus more, just over 50 people team across the country. It's responsible for building local relationships, filling the needs of the communities they serve, and supporting local initiatives with community partners. So their whole job, they're not salespeople. Their entire job is get into the community, build partnerships with the community partners, whether that be the food banks or the libraries or the Legion posts or whoever else they may be working with. Go fill community needs and do good in the community. We're making those communities stronger, one person at a time. That's their goal. So they do that in a few different ways. They partner with businesses and nonprofits to fill specific community needs. That could be anything from in our local community, we have a food bank that's going to close down because they're not getting the support they need. We'll come in and help. It could be the community center where so many of our people go need a new ramp. We'll come in and support. It could be a little bit of anything. We want to come in and fill something specific to the community. They drop off collateral and make sure people have access to important healthcare information. Sometimes that looks like coming in and doing a presentation. Sometimes that looks like dropping off a box of flyers or trifolds or goodies and giveaways to say, here, this all contains important healthcare information. If we can't distribute it, then put it somewhere where they can get it, right? So we work with our community partners for that. We host formal educational presentations on Medicare Advantage to educate the community. This is exactly what it sounds like. We bring people into a room, we fly over the community and tell them what it's all about. Maybe we do a direct mail piece. We get people in one space so that we can stand in front of them and talk about Medicare Advantage. We also increase engagement in local initiatives by hosting creative, meaningful events. This one's my favorite on the slide. And really what that means is we're going to be creative, we're going to be meaningful, we're going to be intentional with our event design. We're going to not charge anyone anything for these events. So we're going to come out and build an event that makes sense for your specific group, for your community, and we're going to host it flawlessly, and people are going to have fun while they're there. We're going to connect local partners together to help increase the strength of the community. I use this example often, but I love the example of last year during hurricane season. One of the religious facilities that we work with in Georgia, small church, maybe 60 people in their congregation. They had a leak in the roof, and they that week had also lost a very prominent member of their congregation. So they called their community relations specialist, which probably isn't the first person you think to call, but they did. And we're so grateful for it because the community relations specialist said, I got you. I'll figure it out. Called their contacts, found one of their local community centers that they work very closely with, explained the situation. No dollars were exchanged. The church moved sites for the weekend. We helped coordinate someone to fix the roof. They were able to have their service the community greatly needed. And we strengthen the community through tying those two organizations together. And then we want to bring attention to our community partners through mailings, flyers, and word of mouth. We want to make sure that what you're doing is loud and clear in the community. So we will put flyers everywhere. We'll talk to our other community partners. We'll advertise what your goals are, whatever we need to do to make sure that we're getting the message out about what you're doing in the community. So as we go through the next few slides, we're going to talk about what type of events we do in the community. We break those into 4 different event types. Before I get started, I want to make sure I say that these events, someone asked in our last call, and I tried not to start this way because then it sounds a little bit like a sales pitch, but want to be clear that this is a no cost relationship. We will never charge for an event. That's not what we do. When we host an event, we come with what we need to successfully facilitate that event. Uh, so when I say we'll do bingo, we will bring the bingo equipment and we will bring the bingo prizes. When I say we will do educational series, we will come out and we will either do a formal veteran benefit presentation, an informal tabletop, whatever it looks like. We will bring our supplies with us. It won't cost you anything for us to be there. So want to make that super clear. This is not a sales pitch. There is no dollars here. In all activities, our local representatives and the Wellcare Community Relations team have a goal of education. Their entire purpose is to educate and better the community. So when they come out, they're going to come out with the idea that no matter what we're doing, whether we're entertaining or serving or supporting or educating, there is an element of education with that. That could look like a formal presentation. That could also look like an informal tabletop at an event that's already available. So oftentimes we have our partners at the American Legion or at many of the other community partners that we serve say, hey, we already have an event coming. It might be a meeting, it might be a bingo night, it might be a fish fry, whatever it is. We have this event coming. We'd love to have somebody come and be here, but we don't want a presentation. Okay, so we send somebody to stand off to the side or at the front with their table, and they are a silent observer, but they're there when people have questions. Sometimes we find that people are more comfortable asking questions in a one-on-one setting than in a group presentation. So we can be available for that. We do flyer and material delivery to local posts and other community partners for ongoing education. So we'll drop stuff off. And then we can do post leader or ALA leader specific education. So if we want to make sure that this is the right thing for your post, for your members, for your group, We can talk to just the leadership team and say, hey, here's what we talk about when we come in. Are you comfortable with us bringing that to your group? I won't read through all these questions for you, but wanted to just give you an idea of the types of questions that we get regularly and that we're ready to answer at these presentations and when we come to do a side tabletop or when we come to play bingo. At any instance, our team's prepared to make sure that your team gets the information they need. So it's questions like, I want to be able to keep all the doctors I currently see. What plan can I enroll into to make sure that happens? TRICARE for Life versus Medicare Advantage will either cover the chiropractor. What benefits can I receive, right? Excuse me, the team is well prepared to tackle these questions. The next type of event that we do is events that support. Each of the communities that we serve is very different, and the initiatives that are important to them are specific and uniquely valuable. So when we connect you with a community relations specialist, one of the first things they're going to ask you is, hey, what's important to you? What's going on in your community that is important to you? We have many, many, many different examples because every community is so different. But I put a few here to just talk through what that looks like in action. So if you said to us, one of the things that's really important to us is eliminating social isolation. We also are challenged and struggled with that. We know that, especially in a post-COVID world, so many people isolate. And from a health perspective, from a community perspective, from a social and a mental health perspective, we know that's not healthy. We want them out in their community. So we'll come out and build unique events that encourage seniors especially to get out of their homes and into the communities. We're going to come in and find out, what does your community enjoy? And we're going to build events that encourage them to come join their community in those spaces. You might say to us that we have a homeless veteran population, uh, and we need help with that. And while that's going to hurt us to hear, because that's terrible and no one wants to hear it, we're going to come build an event that helps support that population. So we're going to collaborate with other community partners to do things like bring in mobile showers, bring in meals, things like that. If you're in a place where it's cold, we're going to bring in gloves and socks and hats so that we can try to keep that population warmer during those cold months. And then maybe you say to us, you're working with your Legion post on Be the One campaign, and that's really important to you. We're going to say, got it. We're going to plan and facilitate mental health and awareness events that align with the Be the One campaign. We've done things like worked alongside their Be the One call nights to just make it a better call night, bring in dinner, or we've sent privacy screens to some posts so that when they are doing their Be the One call nights, they can do so with a little bit of privacy. Call journals, and we've come in and done call exercises or breathing exercises or whatever we need to do to help improve the outcomes of those calls, to help improve the outcome of the Be the One campaign. That's what we're here for. So we're going to ask you what's important to you in your community, and we're going to build events around that. The third type of event we do is an event that serves. We strongly encourage our reps to spend time in the community through acts of service. This is anything that's going to require their time. So we ask them, and they're very good at allocating their time and resources to support local veteran meal deliveries or to collaborate with existing community partners to bring service to the community. I mentioned those mobile showers, but also mental health resources or local food bank support. They partner with other community organizations to fill needs however they can. And then we want to be a resource to community members during times of need. So you will often see Wellcare on the ground in places that are experiencing great need, places after a hurricane or flooding. Wellcare will be there. Sometimes they're there supporting local first responders by giving water bottles and making sure that we can support those efforts. They're there help cleaning up a community. They're also there to make sure that the people we are focused on in the community, the aging population, the low income population, the people who are in our vulnerable populations are well supported. So they'll go into the community centers that are helping and they'll find out, hey, what do you need? Oftentimes it's things that nobody thinks about, adult diapers, right? Everybody thinks about water bottles in a hurricane. Few people think about an adult diaper. So we are making sure that we're covering those gaps in the community and being a team of support during those times. And then lastly, and the most fun, we come out and do events that entertain. So remember that we're going to have a level of education in everything that we do. And sometimes that only looks like us being available to answer questions. But our favorite, if some of our team's favorite events, is events that entertain. So Wellcare recognizes that sometimes what the communities we serve need most is simply togetherness. So we want to bring people together to have fun. Some of those examples are bingo or trivia nights, painting, gardening, or exercise classes, senior proms, dance parties, live music, holiday parties or activities. There is nothing this team likes more than a little bit of music and a little bit of crafting. So if you've got a group who loves a good craft, you're going to want to connect with them. They come and they definitely bring the fun. I want to touch on a couple of these quickly to just say that not all of these have to be fully facilitated and planned by Wellcare, right? You might already have bingo nights on the regular, and you might say, hey, I already have bingo nights. I don't need you to come in and plan that, but I'd like to improve them. Do you want to come to our bingo night? We'll come, we'll be available to answer questions. We'll bring the bingo prizes. Or maybe you're struggling to get new membership, right? Maybe you want to grow your membership. So maybe we do an open community day, an open house style event where we say we're going to go flyer the community and we're going to invite people into your ALA group, into the post or wherever you have your meetings. And we're going to invite them to do, I don't know, a dance party, or we're going to invite them to do a craft, or we're going to invite them to write letters to active duty soldiers who are currently serving. And we're going to do this event together. And while we're there, we're going to be able to show them the beauty of the ALA. And we're going to be able to talk about what WellCare does so we can help grow your membership that way. This team is ready to have fun at every single turn. So if you're looking for some extra event fun, whether it's a whole new event or something you just want to tap us into, this team is ready for you. Some of the benefits of partnering locally, we want to support for your initiatives and goals. I think we've talked about that aplenty. We are here to support you. We want to be that first phone call you have when there's a need that you're not sure how to solve. We love being the problem solvers. More fun at your post or at your group means more membership, right? The more people are talking about it, the more they're telling their friends, the more others want to join. Increase community ties for you. It's never a bad thing to have more partners in the community. And then education exclusively for your membership, bringing more value to their membership and arming them with critical health information. In addition to our community team, which is who we just talked about, those people in the field who do an incredible job in their hands-on in their community, we have a behind-the-scenes support team. Most of them are in Charlotte, North Carolina. They sit at their computers all day, ready to provide assistance with any of these topics and a whole lot more. Before I get into what they can do for you, the email address is nationalevents@centene.com. I'll make sure you have that when we send this information out. This team is ready to answer your emails about anything you could probably throw at them. Most importantly, they do giveaway material requests. So maybe you're not quite ready to let Wellcare come to your events. Maybe you just don't trust it yet, and that's fair. But you've got a bingo coming up and you go, well, they could send us bingo prizes. Email that box. They'll send you some bingo prizes. Maybe you have meetings coming up and you don't want someone to come to your meeting just yet, but you would like information about Wellcare so that you can pass that information on. They can send you collateral. They can send you an approved presentation. They can send you support with your local contact. They can do event requests. So you could reach out to them and say, we've got a fish fry coming up. We're doing a chili cook-off in the summer. Whatever activity you're doing, can we get some support? They can connect you with the right person to make that happen, and they can answer your questions. So nationalevents@centene.com, it is a magical box. It's a magical email box, and they are ready to take your questions. So make sure you keep them busy. And then getting started partnering with Wellcare is really easy. We're going to send you, after this call, probably early next week, to Carly's point, we're going to send you a quick survey. In that survey, it's going to ask you, are you interested in a partnership with Wellcare? Remember that there's no cost associated with that. We're also not getting married today. I'm not making you sign some contract or commitment. You don't have to tell us what this relationship means to you today. The survey is just going to ask you, are you interested? If you want to get engaged with a local community relations specialist, say yes on that survey. We'll take that, we'll connect you with the right person. They'll reach out to you and they're going to call you and ask you what's important to you, what type of events do you want. So they will take control of working directly with you so that the two of you can build something beautiful in your community. Uh, I'm not going to ask you what types of events do you want on this survey. I'm not going to ask you how often do you want us there. This is a very early preliminary. Do you want to talk to someone? And if the answer is yes, we will get you connected. Once you're connected, that is your person. That is the person who will support you moving forward. They're local in your community. They're ready to do whatever it is you guys are going to do together. So you can file that number, put it in your phone, and that can be your contact moving forward. I always put a quick AEP reminder. I know, oh, sorry, I know it's only July, but October comes very quickly. So I want to make sure that I'm reminding everyone that from October 15th to December 7th, that is annual enrollment period. The summer is a great time to start talking about what the options for this upcoming year are, so that when you get to October, no one is paralyzed and confused. It's a lot of information. Medicare is complicated and tricky and it changes all the time, right? So making sure that over the summer we're getting a good grasp on how does Medicare work with VA benefits and what does Medicare mean to me and what am I looking for in a plan so that when new plan designs come out in October, you have all those questions answered and you're ready to just look at the plan benefits and make your decision. So now is a really great time to get some in-person education out to your membership. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you, Carly, so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ali. I appreciate your time. Again, today's session is being recorded. We will get it posted and distributed early next week. So thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, you bet. Bye.